Hey y'all, yo, what's up? What's going on, my peoples? How you guys doing today? It's Sunday. It's going into Sunday. How are you guys? I am here and getting ready to talk about one of my favorite shows on OWN. Ready to Love. This is right now they're in the fourth season. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but yeah, they're in the fourth season right now, and this is actually episode 6. I know I'm a little late to the party, but I'm kind of new to these YouTube streets out here. So I don't know. Have let me know if you guys have checked it out before. Leave something in the comments. I'm looking all over the place. I don't know where to look on this camera, so please forgive where my eyes are going. I'm trying my best here. I got my camera turned sideways, and I'm upstairs in my boudoir, in my room, in my she cave. Anyway, um, and speaking of, don't I look rather ready to love myself? Yeah, I'm ready to love myself. There you go. Yes, all over the place. Sprinkle some self-love all over y'all. Anyway, so it starts out with the ladies meeting up with Tommy, nephew Tommy. They're meeting up with him. And now the tables have turned, and it is now the ladies' turn to do elimination. So that's going to be very interesting. I know Jason, I don't know. It's something about him. He just gives me youth, very youthful, right? And then he got little boy teeth. And I know that's not nice, but it's the truth. I don't know what else to call them. They're not quite chiclets, but they just real tiny teeth. You ever see anybody with just mostly gums and little short teeth? Okay, let me get off of Jason. That's not even right. Um, and they were doing like a recap of the previous show, obviously, or the previous episode rather, where Tressa got sent home, and they said she wasn't ready to love, and I just felt like she just got so robbed in this process. It's not that she wasn't ready to love; she just wasn't the size that you guys wanted. She didn't come in the size you wanted. That's what that was. She was a little full figured. She had a cute shape. She was, full figured. Had her afro going on, and everybody was just saying she was giving homie vibes. Well, yeah, that's because you weren't attracted to her size. Let's be real. And that wasn't fair because she was there ready to love and got sent home. So they need to make a whole nother show, a spinoff show just for her, or, full figure women looking for love because we all deserve love too. I'm a little voluptuous myself and I like it, but if you don't like it, it ain't for you anyway. So that's fine. That's cool. Moving right along. Um, oh, also that theme song, I just absolutely love it. I was gonna try and sing it for y'all, but I'm not gonna do that. No, it's been a long day, and I don't have my me. I don't have that together right now. Um, and then oh my goodness, Chrysanthemum. Did I say her name right? You got to get her name right. She let us know that in the beginning of the show, episode 1. Get her name right, girl. I'm like, girl, Chrysanthemum, Chris. We gonna call you Chris. Um, I know at the table with all of the ladies, Tommy had the ladies kind of like close their eyes and visualize the person they're feeling the most. And I was just cracking up so hard because Amber, her smile just went, she just had this big old cheese on her face because she's feeling Chris. So they seem pretty cute on the same wavelength, but I don't know, something about Amber. I like her, but something about her gives me pick me, like real pick Misha vibes, pick me, that kind of stuff. So I don't know, when she just kept agreeing with everything that Chris had to say and just kind of hanging on his every word, I'm like, you're doing a lot, ma'am. You're doing too much. Also, so after that little meetup with nephew Tommy, they went ahead and went on their individual dates. They were instructed to, instead of going on another date with the person that you're feeling the most, go on a date with somebody who you probably didn't give a second look to. So Ron and Alexis end up getting together. And I'm sorry, y'all, I have a lot to say, so I'm looking at my notes here. We're already 4 minutes in. Let me get my life. Okay. So Ron and Alexis goes on a date. Ron picks her up. He picks. Oh yeah. He physically picked her up. I was just like, that's a lot. And right there, she had already claimed the number one spot. I'm like, I can't with all of this. I'm your number one. I'm your number one. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a dating competition show. So, just to right off the bat be trying to be somebody's number one like right away, and then they have all these options on the show. Men, both the men and the women have options or whatever that they can choose from. So how can you just decide that you're number one and that's what it's gonna be? Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so Alexis also gives me a little bit of pick me vibes, and here's why. So she let Ron know that she was kind of a devout Christian or whatever. She's a church lady. She's a church girl. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But my thing is this: stick to your guns. Stick to it. Stand on it. If you're gonna put it out there, stand on it. What she do? So he turns around and he's like, well, I'm not about that life. I'm kind of like about the rock star life. So she's like, she said, something about, what did she say? Oh yeah, she said she trusts his leadership and she can follow him without being concerned as to what path she's being led down. Ma'am, the whole switch up of it all, right? And I'm just like, huh? So you just willing to that quickly throw your church wig aside and get a rock of love wig? I don't know how to do that. That rock hand gesture, whatever. But come on now, so you ready to be a rock star? You about the rock star life? All of a sudden, I guess it's just like whichever way the wind blow, that's where you're gonna go. Okay, whatever, Miss Alexis, girl. Then Alexis says that AJ, the tall dude with the big old Santa beard, or yeah, the lumberjack beard, she said that he's actually her usual type, but he gives off, Playboy vibes. I don't know about Playboy vibes. He just gives off, for me, he gives off chase me, Mr. AJ, bruh. Um, But I will say, Ron and Alexis, I guess they seem to kind of genuinely like each other and have like a genuine connection and chemistry and all that. They did reveal that they talk on the phone every day and all that kind of stuff. So, we'll see. And then they went to Amber and AJ. Like I said, AJ is the tall chocolate that feel like because he's tall and chocolate, that's all he has to do is just be tall and chocolate. Oh yeah, and have a beard. I guess that's the I was about to we not I'm not gonna be awful. I guess I'm just not into that. It's just a whole look for me. That this is what everybody's going for. Yeah, that makes me not want it. I don't want what everybody can get, or yeah. I remember I went to a jewelry store and I was looking for a pair of earrings. I wanted something long, white gold, dangly, whatever. And the lady started, oh, we don't have that, but we have these bracelets. She showed me some Alex and Annie bracelets or whatever. And I'm like, one, I asked about earrings, not bracelets, but okay, let me entertain this for a second. And she's like, yeah, everybody's wearing them. I'm like, I don't want what everybody's wearing, ma'am. And I don't want a bracelet. I came here for earrings. Okay, neither here nor there. Whatever. But it just seems like that whole aesthetic, the way AJ looks, that is what women kind of fawn over and just fall all over themselves and make dumb decisions about. Y'all making dumb decisions about a beard. Okay. Let's see how that works out. I mean, for some, I'm not saying all dudes with beards are bad. Not saying that at all by any means, but I'm just saying the type that, this whole is tall, dark, handsome, whatever. Okay, that's real good. That's awesome. But what about, his character, his integrity, and all that stuff? And we'll find out a little bit more. I'm sorry, I got sunburn yesterday, so it's like starting to itch me. I need to put some aloe vera on there. But yeah, we'll find out a little bit more about AJ's character later on in the episode. Um, okay, so yeah, we're back to Amber and AJ. So she was saying, not only does he give Playboy vibes, he also comes off kind of arrogant and cocky, and I totally agree. Just like I said, it gives me this, no, you come after me kind of kind of vibe, I guess. Whatever. Um, but it's like I really feel like if those two kind of each put their egos to the side, I think they probably could work out. I think they would make a really cute couple. She's like super short, he's super tall, but sometimes that goes. Sometimes that can be real cute or whatever. Um, but yeah, if they, put their egos aside, that would be kind of tough for him. Because again, he's probably used to being chased all the time. That would probably be tough for Amber, because one, she's an attorney, so she kind of has that, a little bit of masculine energy or a little just dominance, and I don't know if that will work, so you can't just go off of looks and say, oh, they'll look cute together. Nah, they would, but what else, the important stuff. Let's talk about that. Oh, I think I just looked. Oh no, I didn't. I tried to look at the camera the right way and it didn't work out for me. Okay, so we're just gonna roll with this angle or whatever is happening here. Um, oh yeah, so then they started discussing their favorites. Um, and she says Chris and Ron. Amber says Chris and Ron are her favorites. I didn't really notice her get much time with Ron. Maybe I missed something. I might have missed an episode or something like that. I don't know. I'm not gonna go back and watch though. It's not that deep. Um, and then Amber was also really truthful with AJ and let him know that he just didn't seem approachable to her, and he does kind of have that intimidating presence, I guess, especially being so quiet and closed off. He just seems a little bit closed off. But AJ, he was a good sport about it. He seemed to take heed. Um, and he did raise a really valid point, in response to her comment. He did say that confidence can be perceived as arrogance. So, I guess you got to be kind of self-aware. So this is like step one of him being aware of how his confidence can be a little overbearing at times, I guess. Perhaps. We'll see. Um, I kind of felt like after that, Amber didn't give him a chance. She just, kind of brushed him off as just, the playboy type or whatever. Um, but I do feel like, she can probably handle AJ. I mean, obviously she's willing to take him to task, something that it seems like the other ladies, they were just so smitten and just so all in about his aesthetic. I hate that I'm looking all over the place. Okay, focus. They was just so taken by his appearance or what he looks like, that things that they may have should have taken them to task about, they just kind of overlooked it basically. So then, okay, so now we have Chris and Chrysanthemum. Chris girl, Chris guy, whatever. Okay. She's still on that. So who's your number one? She's still on that. It's just like, lady, we're only halfway through the process, so simmer down, bring it on down. Ooh. And I think that's kind of what happened with her and her friend Stacy just being in competition with each other, even though they were friends on the show. Um, they got into a little bit of competition, but they did kind of keep it cute. But ultimately Stacy got sent home. So yeah, bye. That's neither here nor there. Okay, so Chris, he did mention that he was kind of shocked by the fact that she asked him out. Um, like, where did this come from? Of course, she couldn't be like, okay, well, nephew Tommy gave us an assignment to take out, go on a date with somebody we're not feeling like that. I mean, how that would have came off, yeah, you can only imagine, right? Um, so he also in his confessional about this particular scene let us know that he felt kind of shot down by her, when he tried to interact with her in the recent past. So why is it now that you halfway through the show now you already, I mean, now you all of a sudden want to date and meet up and all that good stuff? I don't know, or show a little bit of interest. So the conversation went on. She kind of opened up about growing up without a dad and how she was born in Italy and how she feels that the mother just wanted an Italian baby. I'm like, that is so awful if that's true. I hope that's not true. If that's true, that, yeah, Lucy, you got some splaining to do. Okay. See, didn't I tell y'all my accents were horrible? Okay, let me stop. I am out of control. I'm out of control. Okay, but I'm gonna stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. Okay, so Chris kind of said he had the same type of issues where I guess his dad just didn't reach out at all. She had met her dad 6 years ago, and his dad, I guess they never had a relationship. Um, let's see. She also opened up about, uh, her mom not being affectionate. So I guess that for me, that kind of explained a lot for me. Her way of being, her, just how she is. She's kind of a little bossy, a little she's very edgy, especially to be such a petite young lady. She just, yeah, young lady, young woman. She just comes off real um aggressive, a little abrasive, I guess, depending on how you look at it, just real, like that or whatever. So I can kind of see how, she got that way if you had a mom who, was kind of, tough or, not affectionate. So that made sense. That helped things make sense to me. But what I appreciated about Chris, he leaned into his intuition and he was real with her. He told her, look, I feel like, as far as your interest in me, it's like a 70-30. A part of you, 70% is like, maybe this could be something. And the other 30% is like, yeah, I don't really know. He was spot on with that. His third eye must have been tingling or something. Um, so then I noticed too, he started talking about Amber. That was his number one and really only one. So there he is again, making the same mistake that he made last season, because he actually got called back from last season. He got done so dirty by Naya, but he put all his eggs in one basket with Naya, and end up only pursuing her and no one else. So when she lost interest, there was no more need for him. So he's doing the same thing as far as I'm concerned, with Amber. Now they do have a, real legitimate connection, it seems like, but it also seemed that way with Naya in the previous season, and you see what happened with that. So just saying, watch out for that. And I guess, you know what? I got to be honest. He's a lot like me. I'm that way too. When I'm dating somebody, I want to just date that person. I have a hard time. I don't know if it's, lack of attention span or what. I don't know if it's, I don't know. I just don't like juggling, situations or whatever. I just like to date one person, and then that has, been, to my detriment on occasion too. So I understand. I'm like, I guess I just don't have that bone in my body where I can, do roster dating or whatever, have like three or more people that I dated one time. I just don't want, for one, I don't have the time. Okay. I'm trying to be a whole YouTuber, and I'm the cake lady, and I do this and I do that. I do a whole lot of things, and I'm a single mama. So yeah, I don't have time for all these um, conversations, and I date here and there, but other than that, it's just like I don't have time to just you know date several people at one time. So I don't know. Um, let's see, where were we? Okay, so now Amber and Joelle, is it Joel or Joelle? I want to say Joel, but they keep calling him Joelle, so whichever. Um, and it's funny because this was her second date of the episode, where everybody else had pretty much just gone on one date. But her and Joelle get together, and she looked very nice. She looked fabulous. She's a real pretty young lady to me. She's very gorgeous, little chocolate drop. Um, and yeah, you could just tell she's on a mission. She's definitely on a mission to find love. To find some love on this show is called Ready to Love, after all. So, ain't nothing wrong with that. No harm in that. And, she's keeping it cute, and, but she still has her eyes on Chris. That's still her top. She let that be known, in her confessional during the date. Also, Joel tried to kiss Amber on the cheek, and I think that kind of just put her on defense mode just right away. You could tell she just kind of, got really uncomfortable. That's their first interaction, and here you come trying to kiss me on the cheek. That is a little bit too much or whatever. But Joel finessed her, calling her, "Yeah, baby." He got that Louisiana thing, how you say it, Louisiana um accent. So I think I did that accent pretty good, baby. Okay, I'm not gonna do it anymore because I might mess it up. So let me stop and focus and sing and go. I crack me up. So, Joelle, what I did appreciate about him is that he was also very honest about his feelings as far as desiring companionship, especially after the death of his wife. Now he's a single dad and everything, and now he's on the show trying to find a mama for them kids. It be like that sometimes. It can get overwhelming, but he does seem like he got his stuff together, so that's pretty good. Okay, so then Liz and Little Teeth, little baby Teeth, little boy. Okay, I'm not gonna call that man that. Liz, okay, so they got together on their date, and I gotta say, Liz, per usual, hunty, she looked good. Gone, Liz, girl. Giving just all the classy church lady, but I could still be a little, sexy, sophisticated, wretched. She don't give me no wretched. Maybe just a tinge, but nothing. She don't. Yeah, she don't give me no wretched. She don't give me no ratchet. What kind of grammar? Okay, again, I'm focusing. I'm focusing. Okay, so um, I don't know. I think Jason, to me, especially for Liz, just Jason overall, but especially for Liz because she's so mature behaving. He just gives me just, I don't know, youthful acting, just I don't know, just real young acting. Um and I don't know, I guess for me it seems like Liz is out of his league, kind of, let me know what you guys think, Um and I also think Liz made a better fit for David. She didn't mind his controlling ways. She was with it. They both, all about that church life too. So she don't mind giving up her passwords, and he don't mind taking it, and she don't mind giving it. So that might work out. I think she's better suited for him, and they look like they will make a nice couple too. He's very handsome. She's very attractive. I don't know. Maybe they should get out a little whirl. Give it a little whirl. Give it a whirl, girl. Give it. I am tripping. Okay, so on to the next thing. Liz kind of explained to Jason, just like she did with the other men, how she wants to abstain from sex before marriage. And I'm with her on that. It's like, why am I going to give myself to somebody I don't belong to? Why am I going to do that? What was that? Okay, that was my down south accent. We're going to leave that down south. Um, But I thought it was nice that even though Jason did let it be known, like, oh, that's gonna be a struggle, but I will honor and respect that. So I thought that was pretty dope. They don't make them like that, so I will definitely give him kudos for that, for being, a man of integrity. So, who knows? Maybe, the age differentiation. I think he's what was he, 38 or 39, and I think she's 40. That's not too much of an age difference, but then the whole maturity level a lot of times when it comes to men versus women. So they say women are more mature. Okay. So, I thought the whole Ferris wheel of it all, I thought that was so cute. I thought that looked like just a really dope date, especially to have the city, backdrop, in the background or whatever. And, they're filming this in Houston right now. So it was really nice. I'm like, I don't really like Ferris wheels, but I think I'm gonna start liking them just for that purpose. I need somebody to woo me like that. I thought that was pretty nice. Okay, so then Jason leans in and plants a kiss on Liz, and of course she was receptive. But all I could think about was, oh, David. David gonna be pissed when he see this. He's gonna be pissed, especially when they get in the den and start comparing notes as far the den where they meet up with Tommy, and they start comparing notes and everything as far as how their dates went. Yeah, so when Jason is like, yeah, and me and Liz kissed, I can only imagine the look that's gonna be on David's face. Poor thing, yeah. And I think I saw like in the previews of another episode that, he kind of stormed off from her. So I don't know if it was because of that or what, but I guess we'll have to tune in and see. It comes on. Okay, so let me continue. Um, yeah, Jason, he does seem genuinely nice, but just again, just really youthful in comparison to Liz. Okay, so we almost through this thing, y'all. Woo, yeah, this is a lot. Okay, so, but I wanted to make sure I paid attention to detail. Just give you guys what it is that I thought about it, and hopefully you guys will comment. Hopefully you guys have even watched the show. I mean, yeah, because other than that, this review is pretty irrelevant to some of you guys. But maybe you will be willing to start watching it. It's a pretty good show. I like it. Um, okay, so AJ and Kyra. Poor AJ. I don't think he's gonna be able to shake that stench of being labeled El Cheapo. In previous episodes, Kyra kind of let it be known that she dated him off the show, in the past, before, long before the show, and they went on 2 dates. And the second date, he kind of skipped out on the bill and left her to pay the bill, basically, to pick up the tab. So I'm like, and then after that, he never called her again. For another date. I'm not gonna get into that. You'll have to go back to like episode. I think that was episode 2 or something like that. But anyway, it was just so funny, that whole El Cheapo thing, and then watching him get out of an expensive car. It's like all I still have in the back of my mind is El Cheapo, dude. I just the expensive car is cute and all, but it's not working for me. It's not work. It's still not working for your case. Um, Also, I love Kyra's confessional dress. She had on this red, looks like a bodycon kind of strappy situation. I'm like, I'm gonna have to go find that. I know right where to go to. Um, they went on a date to a winery. And I don't know, those two also seem like they could be a pretty nice couple. I'm sorry, I'm doing all of this. This sweater stuff is getting all on my face and it's annoying. Um, but yeah, so they went to a winery. Kyra asked a great question when she asked um, why his past loves didn't work out. And then she asked him, is it that you maybe didn't properly communicate your needs, to your exes, or, whatever the situation was. Um, and then she also mentioned that I guess his communication was a bit stifled, in her experience of him, not even the exes, but in just the little amount of time that she's been on the show, and, has been dating him altogether, that he just comes across, as, I guess, a little, yeah, somebody who doesn't communicate properly, or effectively for that matter. And, he did say that, that is possible. Um, it is just so funny because I felt like while all these people are pointing out flaws of AJ's, while they're pointing out his flaws to him, it felt like he's being visited by, the relationships, the ghosts of relationships past, because it's like he had a lot of learning, teachable moments, that if he really took some time to seriously reflect on, he could be, pretty, he can turn out pretty decent. He'll do okay, in the dating or relationship scene. Um, he did mention that he was raised to be independent, and that's a reason possibly why in relationships he's not as interdependent. He kind of like he does his own thing, you do yours, as far as I guess that would be needs or maybe even communication. That's very important. Believe it or not, that's like huge. That's the biggest thing in relationships that, people fall out about the silliest things. And it's like all you had to literally do was talk, communicate, share, open up, share your heart, share your thoughts, share your feelings. Um, um, I noticed too that AJ mentioned that he wants somebody to have his back and, be there for him, and somebody who has his best interests at heart. But then I figure, well, what about her? You didn't, okay, you're telling us what you need and what you require and what you want, but what are you giving? Are you giving anything? Are you willing? Are you able? Are you capable? Is that a thing in your universe, in your world where only you exist? you know. Um, so then Kyra lets us know that AJ is in her top 3. So now she is like all of a sudden back smitten with this guy, the one that she labeled early on as El Cheapo, for reasons I already explained. So then now we have Dietrich and Vernisha. Vernisha is the hairstylist. Dietrich, I can't remember what he does, but this man come in there. Oh goodness, he had on a just a red and black lumberjack looking. He was just giving me lumberjack, just this flannel kind of shirt and just belly and come on now, that's what be killing me about the hypocrisy in dating, because it's like just like with Tressa being a full figure woman, she got dismissed as oh buddy vibes, or she's giving me homie vibes, and when in all actuality, it was more than likely because of her appearance, because of her weight. But then, the men, you guys can walk around with this big old gut, and we're supposed to just accept it, and yeah, and we do. So why you guys can't accept us? Hmm? Okay, that's a whole other video. I'm gonna do a video based on something like that because I'm interested in knowing that. How is that possible? But let me not get off on a tangent on that. Um, so he did say he felt a connection with Varnisha. Mm, okay. That's what he says. I'm take the man's word for it. I don't know. I'm not in his head. Um, let's see. Oh, Vernisha was letting him know that she's, busy a lot with her children. She's a single mom. She's a salon owner also. She has church, but she will definitely make time, for her dating life. So, that's pretty good because sometimes people they get too busy and they just don't make time, and then they're so used to being single, they don't know that, hey, you have to include this other person that you're interested in. You have to include them in your world. But she says she's willing to do just that. So um then she says, I believe he says he'll choose her. It just kind of came out of the blue, and it's like, oh, so you don't have anybody else in your top? I guess not at this point. A lot of people have gone home, and I don't really think a lot of people are feeling Dietrich anymore. He started off pretty strong, but yeah, he's starting to fizzle out. I'm sorry, this sunburn is getting my arm together right now. Jeez. Um, then she says she needs a leader, and he actually raised a good point because she mentioned, something about being a man, as far as, what a woman needs in a man. And he raised a good point because he said, well, what some women see as being a good man, there are other women who see something completely different as being a good man. For instance, like some people consider a good man just someone who just pays bills and provides for the family. um Others of us feel like a good man is someone who has integrity. Is those things that are not tangible. Someone who's honest, someone, but in addition, you are a protector, provider, all those things. So tomato tomato. So yeah, I thought that was a pretty good point that he raised. Um, he did mention that he thinks she's too tough. Um, I didn't get that. I just think, she's been doing it alone for so long. And then she kind of, held him to task as far as, this is what I need. This is, what, you know, would be reciprocated, but this is what I need. So I don't know. He just kind of, I don't know. He gives me just not really low confidence. I think his lack of interest in what she was talking about altogether, basically, as far as her needs. So there was that. Uh, then he kind of shut down. It seemed like he's like, oh, I'm ready to go. I don't want to eat no more. I thought it was hilarious because homegirl kept eating. She was shoveling fruit in her mouth like, I'm not stopping. You can go. That would have been that. I mean, I feel like that's how that kind of should have ended. Like, okay, and then it was like with him, I feel uncomfortable with somebody when I can't tell whether they're joking or not. It just seems like you're saying something. I hope you're joking, but you got this stern, straight face. And then it's like, hey, when you say XYZ, oh, I was just joking. How would I know that? I mean, because you look serious as a heart attack to me. But off of that, on to the next thing. They went to the ladies now go to the ladies lounge to discuss like the elimination. So Tommy asked about the dates and everything. Alexis said that her chemistry with uh, Joelle was magical. No, not Joelle, with Ron. Sorry, Ron is the one who picked her up. First of all, that outfit she had on the date, I meant to, girl, what in the great space coaster did you have on, ma'am? And then the ruffles, rainbow bright, the ruffled sleeves and the half top and the boots. I'm like, what? Okay. Those, some of her fashions, everybody like, oh, she's killing it. She's fly. And that's that on that. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Um, so then chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, right? Chrissy. I'm gonna call her Chrissy. She didn't seem to like that too much because Ron was like her number one. So she didn't like the fact that Alexis was saying she had chemistry with Ron. You should have seen her face. Just yeah. Um so Amber was saying that she liked her date with Joelle. Vernisha, she was hurt about the fact that, Joelle did kiss Amber on the cheek. Um but she kind of remained a little reserved, but she was honest and said that kind of struck a nerve. So then Kyra says that AJ redeemed himself, from being El Cheapo, because when he took her on a date, he paid for everything, girl. I'm thinking Ohm paid for that. He had lobster, he had flowers, and I'm like, okay, is that your first time having lobster or flowers, darling? Mm. Moving on. Was that shit? That was not shade. It wasn't. I mean, but for real, I kind of wanted to know if I was curious. Um, so Liz and Jason. Okay. So she talked about her kiss with Jason, and then Kyra kind of felt some type of way, but she tried to keep her facial expressions under control. She tried to keep it cute and classy. It didn't work for long because her claws came out a little bit later. But she did look a little hurt, even though she tried to keep it in. But you could see it; it was all over the TV. She says um, she reminded us that she's competitive and this, that, and the other, and she's quote unquote coming for everything that Liz has to say. Ma'am, what does that mean? What do you mean by that? Were you coming for everything she has to say to do what with? Like, that sounded like a whole threat. I'm just like, you gonna fight this lady over a man that ain't yours? Is that what we doing now? We're not doing that on Ready to Love. Y'all keep it cute, please. We don't need any of that. We got to stick together, ladies. Anyway, so Vernisha, she says she's not feeling Dietrich. He had a lack of confidence, she says. Then she threw some shade in there when they asked about the date. How was the date? She's like, well, I enjoyed the food. Woo, so tough crowd. I guess that, yeah, you read into that what you will. So then Liz and Kyra said the same thing pretty much about Dietrich. And I don't know, Dietrich just, he gives me really set in his ways. He just gives me really critical a lot of times too. And he might even have a bit of a mean streak. I'm just, I don't know, kind of comes off that way. But I could be wrong. I don't even know that man. Chrissy, I'm not even going to try to say her name again. Um, she said that there was no romantic connection with Chris, and I agreed, like, girl. But, I'm glad she, kept it real, even though you're still supposed to play the game and connect with as many people as possible so you can stay on the show. At some point you have to keep it real and just be honest and say, hey, I'm not feeling this person. Um, so yeah, she says that Kyra and Alexis, they pretty much agreed. and basically said Chris is in their friend zone. Sorry, Chris, poor Chris. So what? But you still got Amber. You still got Amber girl. Yeah, she seemed like she gonna be your do girl. You know, a do girl. She gonna do what he say. Um, Amber says that as far as her date with AJ, she was not impressed at all, not even by the height or the beard or any of that or the chocolate skin. And she just said straight up, she feels like AJ is just playing the game. And that's what a lot of them get on this show and do, you know, especially when you watch previous seasons and you see, oh, I thought they were gonna get married, and then next thing you know, it turned out to be a whole mess, some shenanigans, some lies. One chick came to the show pregnant, you know, but we didn't find that out till after the show was over. We found that out at the reunion, actually. That was all kinds of crazy. I think that was the last season, season 3. Okay, so then yeah, Amber says that he's playing the game. And then here goes Kyra. You know, Kyra love her some AJ, honey. She done took him out the El Cheapo box and picked him up and dusted him off. And, you know, she says he's in her top. So she gets an attitude with Amber for saying, you know, he's playing the game. And she's like, hold on, what the F? You know, like, wait a minute, put your claws back in, girl. That's her experience of this man. She is allowed to express her experience on her date. Come on now. Like, what is all of that? You know, especially for somebody who played you in the past, you know, forgiveness though, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that, but that don't mean we have to intermingle again. Yeah. Okay, so Amber, I really like her because she a tough little thing. She promptly reminds her, hold on, excuse me, keep it cute, because while you guys were discussing Chris, my favorite, I kept it cute and I kept it on mute. I didn't chime in. I didn't, you know, raise a stink. I didn't even make a face. Um, so yeah, I just thought that was pretty interesting. She's like, keep it cute, boo. She says she feels like AJ isn't trying because of his looks, and I agree. AJ feels like he doesn't have to try because he already, you know, comes with all of this. And it's like, sir, that's cute for a minute. But, you know, once the honeymoon and the infatuation phase is gone and over with, what else is there? What do you have to offer? Shout out to Dineva. um, so yeah, it just kind of feels like AJ just decided he's not going to do any heavy lifting in this dating competition, and that these ladies are going to have to chase him. Essentially, that's what it, you know, that's how he just kind of comes off. Um, yeah, and Kyra, she had him claws ready. She says that she has to defend AJ and she feels protective over him. Girl, this man is 7 feet tall. What, I think he could take care of himself. What are you gonna protect him from? Like, ma'am, pump your brakes, hotcakes. Just who child. So then Kyra and Dietrich, let's see. Dietrich. So I guess he thought so. Now we're in the point of the episode where they have to send 2 people home. The ladies have to send 2 men home. So Kyra asks Dietrich out for this discussion whether he's going to be sent home or not, and he thinks he's there for just a date. But you come in there with these old man orthopedic shoes. I was like, sir, you're on a whole date. And then the shoes were untied. You couldn't even tie your shoes or tuck the shoelaces in. Yeah. He just gives me slob. You're a well-dressed slob, basically. You know, slobs can be well-dressed. They really can. That was a bit much. But then you sending somebody home because of their appearance and you out here. Okay, Dietrich. Okay, so now Alexis and AJ, she says she felt like he wasn't interested due to his lack of communication with her and how he hadn't even tried to make contact with her, you know, since their first date, like maybe episode 3. We're now in episode 6, and you know he hadn't even, after that date, he was kind of done with you. So what got on my last good nerve was the way Alexis just kept trying to act like she's just so distracted by this height and this beard and this chocolate skin. And I'm like, girl, calm them little hot panties down. Settle down, ma'am. Settle down. Like it's like that's not all there is to life and relationships and love. I mean, that's it's cute to look at, but again, first of all, beauty fades. Even all it is, you know what I'm saying? One of these, Lord, we gonna rebuke that. Hold on. I'm gonna pray on that. Let me have my juiciness for as long as possible, please, and thank you in Jesus' name. um, speaking of, oh my goodness, speaking of juiciness, they shoot back to Kyra, when she was telling Dietrich, it's time for him to go. I'm like, who ordered the titties? They was sitting on the table. Like, you should have seen them. This is nothing. You should have seen, like, all of this was open. All of that. I was like, girl, put those things away. Like, how's this man supposed to concentrate on being sent home? And you got the girls just out. You brought the girls with you. All of them. So, yeah, that was hilarious. I'm thinking, far as Alexis and AJ goes, she was just acting so enamored by this dude, even at elimination time. I'm like, I think she was the wrong person to deliver the message to him, because she was just way too, I don't know, just all on him. It was just like, oh, just please calm down. You could just feel the steam coming out her chair. She was, oh, remember on the Five Heartbeats when they were doing the concert, and the one guy was singing and hit a high note and the lady started squirming in her chair. That's what Alexis reminds me of when it comes to AJ or any of the dudes for that matter. She's always been a bit of a little hot box or whatever on the show, but we'll get to that in a moment. It was just like, yeah, cool down, girl. Jeez. So then AJ started hugging her and grabbing her around her waist. Okay, I have 3 questions about that. Firstly, Miss Alexis, tell me why you are facing this way and you're supposed to be having a conversation with dude behind you. You're supposed to turn around and face him. How are you having how are you delivering this news to AJ from the back, ma'am? How you delivering some bad news from the back? I mean, I guess if that's how you're gonna deliver the bad news. No, ma'am. Stop. uh Question number 2. Ma'am, why is it okay uh that AJ is able to touch you all over your body like that when you said at the top of the date that he hadn't shown you any interest? That's a rhetorical question. You go ahead, you think about that. I couldn't get with that. And then AJ, my question to you, sir, why all of this affection now? So now that kind of leads me to believe that what Amber was saying is true. You are playing the game because you're trying to stay on the show. You're trying to connect with all these people in a false way, on a surface level, just so you can have more footing on the show. That's not fair to anybody. So anyway, let me continue. I'm almost done with this. Oh my gosh, I'm like 48 minutes in. Okay, so then, yeah, I just thought all of that was just too little, too late. So then, Alexis told AJ that he's in everybody's bottom, according to all the women at Deliberations, including hers. And of course, yes, he did ask with his arrogant behind, and what about you? Am I in your bottom too? And she was honest with him, and she's like, yes. And the audacity of his face to have the nerve to look shocked at her response. Yeah, you've never been in anybody's bottom before, sir? Like, yeah. Well, it's first time for everything. I think this is it. So AJ at that point, let me not skip over this part. Alexis let AJ know that she felt like he had a sexual vibe with everybody. And I'm like, girl, if you ain't the pot calling the kettle black on black, you have a sexual vibe with everybody. You was crawling up and down AJ y'all first date. You were about ready to wife Jason. You was ready to murder that man, that man, and he's your son's basketball coach at his school, and you was ready to drop down, get your eagle on for dude. And then who else was it? Oh yeah, and then Ron. She was, because so I'm like, you can't tell this man. I don't blame him for having some stank energy after she said that, because I think I would have kind of been like, hold up, But he kept it cute. He didn't say he didn't respond to that, but his face did. His face definitely responded. So yeah, AJ started looking pissed and defensive, and yeah, Alexis, she just kind of matched his energy because he was like, and she was like, yeah, wow, Alexis, why the stank? um, so then Alexis refuses to touch his hand because she's still getting all sexually frustrated and hot and bothered and excited. Even in the midst of such a serious conversation, like, sir, you might be going home. Like, girl, stop. Put yourself aside for a minute and just deliver the message. That conversation could have been handled in like 5 minutes, ma'am. You turned it into a half hour, a whole circus. Okay, so now we're back to Kyra, who tells Dietrich that he's being guarded, and he seems receptive. So that was good. And then Dietrich, of course, he ultimately got sent home, and he says he learned a lot, and he told her to tell all the ladies thank you. I thought that was a class act. Good job, Dietrich. Gold star for Dietrich. I'm getting my Layla Rashawn on y'all. And then AJ says that well, let me go back. The way Alexis was talking to AJ at that elimination process, I just felt like she was coming off like his mama, like or auntie, just fussing at him. And I'm like, okay, if he was feeling you, I'm sure he's not now. Like that's gross. No man wants that. Like, come on now. Um, so yeah, that was pretty much it. He got a chance to stay for another week. I'm like, why? He's not ready to love now. I will say he's ready to learn. So that's good, because again, he did seem receptive to the criticism from pretty much all of the ladies. So we'll see what happens on this next show. I'm gonna get in this bed over here. Like I said, I'm in my boudoir. My boudoir. I'm gonna get in this bed and get me some beauty rest. But be sure to like and subscribe. This was fun. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of my subscribers. And thank you and welcome to the new subscribers. I am Shonda, the chick of all trades. And honey, you ain't seen nothing yet. Let me know what video you guys would like me to do next. Would you like a tutorial? I'm thinking about maybe a makeup tutorial or something like that. I don't know about food right now. We'll see. We'll see. So anyway, I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Peace up. Bye.